WagerTalk You Pick special is live, giving you the option to pick the league of your choice and get 30 days of picks for only $99. 30 days of the NFL for $99, done. Just want NBA and NHL for the next month? You can do that for only $99 each. That's right, $99 gets you every release from the league of your choice from your favorite handicapper, including 5% best bets for 30 days. No coupon code is required, and 30-day sports passes will go back to regular price Sunday at midnight. So lock in as many sports and handicappers for only $99 before time runs out.
What is up, guys? Welcome back right here to WagerTalk TV. There's another episode of Puck Time. I'm Andrew McInnis, joined today by Carmine, Bianco, and the Prez in his usual Wednesday spot. Not too many games to go over today, so we will go over all of the games on the board and a few good ones still out there. Some back-to-back situations, some pretty good spots to look at. I'm looking forward to it. But last night was a big card. I decided to just stick with the one play. A few plays I did like yesterday's Puck Time show. We did pretty well between Buster, Carmine, and myself, but my 5% play, Florida in regulation. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I wish they were all like that. You know, I think we all wish they could all be like that, and I'll just thank my graces that I did win, and they got there. And I'll tell you, Carm, the Islanders are just probably happy to head home because we talked about it on Monday. We talked about it last week. We talked about it at the start of the year. A 4-game road trip is not very exciting. It's tough. A 5-game road trip is excruciating. A 13-game road trip is something completely different, and you could tell it was starting to hurt them a little bit.
Yeah, it really did, and congratulations on that win. We talked about it on yesterday's show. That was the second longest trip for a team right out of the gate to start the season. Last year, San Jose, because of I think COVID issues, had a 12-game road trip to start, and in that last game that they played, I mentioned yesterday, they got bombed by the LA Kings. I think it was 6-3 or 6-2 in that game. And Vancouver's had one too, but that was in and around the Olympics. So there was a two-week break in between. I think theirs was like 15 or 16 games, but 2 weeks in between a break. So I wouldn't really count that as a long road trip because they were home for a couple of weeks. But some best bet winners on the show yesterday. The Calgary-Philadelphia game stayed under the total, as I thought it would, under 5.5. So I'm pretty happy about that. And a 2-0 night for me in the 9-0 run right now in NHL. So I'm pretty happy about that as well, too. Another guy who's starting to heat up and was extremely hot last year. Let's bring him on. Prez, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, boys. Carm. Outstanding work. Congratulations on the 9-0 run. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Andrew McInnis, nice call on Florida last night. I was thinking to myself, firstly, Tyler Sterling writes, "Oh God, the Prez." Yeah, baby. Anyway, I was thinking last night, why do they have me on Wednesdays? So there's only two reasons. One, you don't care about my NHL opinion, so you put me on a day when there's no plays ever. Or two, I'm just so damn good at filling air. Which one, Andrew?
Well, it's a mixture of both. You are good at filling air, and usually when I start the show, people have told me I use the word interesting too much. That's like my word. And I'll say
it's a mixture of both.
It's an
so
interesting.
You don't give a shit about my NHL opinion.
Sorry. No. It's the latter. It's the latter. However, another option I'm going to add in is that maybe we want to hear a lot about one or two games. I mean, some people don't really want to talk about one or two games for that long.
Good one, Andrew. Good one.
It's also listen.
It's true though. It's true. I've seen you control a floor for 5 minutes talking about a matchup between the Coyotes and the Ducks, where I think other guests might not want to do that. But it is a shame. I do wish you were on when there were more games, though.
Yeah, listen,
Elliot V just rolled a blunt.
Yeah, listen, it's Wednesday, Lawrence. Wednesday is hump day. What other day would we have you on other than hump day? It's the best day of the week, my friend.
Dude, I'm divorced with a woman I chose later in life. It's hump day almost every day.
Well, there you go. So still, Wednesday it is. And listen, you
Okay.
Cheers to that, Prez.
Buster. You follow Don Buster, who's on every Tuesday. How great is that? We have a
Well, dude,
Montreal
are you
guy
kidding?
followed by a Toronto guy. It's awesome.
Prez,
Dude,
do you
following
remember-
Buster is being like the next captain of the Oilers after Connor McDavid. It's impossible, man.
Prez, you remember that day when you hit that 5% pick that was really not looking very good and you had an outstanding comeback and you were blowing up our phones? That was
Monday?
hump day for me. Yeah, that was one of the hump days for me. And I was getting my phone blown up while I had music playing through my phone. So let's just
Why
let's
don't
move
you
on.
just text Carm and I saying, yo, boys, I'm busy. I need 3 minutes.
Yeah, give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Today,
That's
Colorado
on you,
Avalanche.
Andrew.
All right. Let's keep this
Vancouver
on point.
Canucks, Chicago Blackhawks versus the Kraken, and the Capitals at the LA Kings. Guys, both these guys are heating up, though. I've been pretty selective recently, hitting that big play last night. We have that promo going right now. You'll hear a lot more about it on WagerTalk today, but it's a pick your special, NBA or NHL. Pick your sport. You can get a handicapper of your choice, their sport, NHL or NBA, for a month for only $99 at their profile page. So check that out. One play is $25, guys. You can get an entire month for $99. Anyway, here, time for our first game. Colorado and the Vancouver Canucks. This game is crazy. Prez, I'm going to start with you on this one because just like myself, you liked Vancouver heading into the season. And we both thought they had depth and they had some talent. And the Corsi numbers say they've done well. But the special teams has been the big thing that's hurt them quite a bit. But they've given up 19 goals in their last 3 games combined. And now Colorado, they've got momentum. They're starting to look better. What are your thoughts here in this game, Prez?
Well, I want to talk about a couple of things right off the bat before we get into this specific game because it's really important. We're only about 5 weeks, give or take, 6 weeks into the season, and I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm not ready to change my thoughts. I watched these Vancouver games. I played on them twice in the last 10 days. I lost both games. But I'm telling you guys, I am seeing a team that has puck possession in the offensive end at a high level. I don't think I've ever seen keep away like the Vancouver Canucks play keep away with that puck. Their skating is one of the best in the league. Their passing is one of the best in the league. This team just can't finish. That is not going to last. As for their defense, they will get their act together defensively, but I think they are going to struggle defensively all year. I'm not ready to give up on the Vancouver Canucks yet. It does seem that Vancouver is ready to give up on the Canucks, but I like this team, and I think this team will end up being just fine. They do need to play more defense first. What I like in tonight's game, Andrew, is the over. Colorado's a team that is just lighting it up night in, night out. Without Nathan McKinnon, this team's putting up 4 goals every game. They're going to be able to put up 3 tonight. And I like Vancouver. I think Vancouver can win this game outright. So you got a plus 140 dog in Vancouver, over 6 for Colorado. I'm going to pass tonight for my clients in hockey, but the play that I would have released was the over in this game. So it's not my best bet on the show because I was undecided whether to release it to my clients or not. The only thing keeping me off of the over for my clients is Vancouver has to get their act together defensively. I don't know when it's coming, but the amount of bad news that's coming out of Vancouver right now, the amount of bad press, the unbelievable amount of pressure on that team, it has to be imminent. And that's what's keeping me off of the over for my clients, but it is still my favorite play on the board.
Great stuff, Prez. That's why we have you on Wednesdays, because of breakdowns
Shut
like
up,
that.
Andrew.
We need to give you the floor. We need to give you the floor for those breakdowns. I'm actually right there with Prez, though. I like the over in this game. I think Colorado strings a lot of teams into track meet style hockey games, and Vancouver's getting scored on right now, Carm, and Colorado's starting to put the puck in the net.
You know, nothing makes me feel better than the fact that I am going to be the contrarian on this opinion with you guys here. Listen, that trip was as bad as you could possibly get. It's as worse a trip as you can get for Vancouver. Lose all 3 games, allow 19 goals, only score 6. But the 7-game homestand before they went on that road trip, while they lost, I think 5 of those 7 games, they were a lot of tight, low-scoring games. I think they allowed 2.57 goals per game during that homestand. Never allowed more than 3 goals. It is a team coming home off a horrible road trip, and you got to figure that they're going to be better defensively here. I get it. I've been on Colorado their last 2 games. I said until a team can stop them from scoring, they're just going to light it up. But maybe this is one of those games where it is all men on board, and let's play some defense tonight, because that was an embarrassing 3 games for this team. They could still score 4 tonight. This could end up 4-1 for Colorado. I just think 6 goals here is probably about as low as or as good a total, where if you're going to take the under to take it, you're not going to see a 6.5 in this game, and you're never going to see a 5.5. So 6 is where the books have it, and rightly so. I'm going to take the under here. It's the contrarian viewpoint. I know they played a 7-1 game in Colorado as part of that 3-game losing streak, and Demko looked as bad as you could in those 2 games. At home, I think he's better off in goal, so we'll see what he does tonight if he gets the start. I'm leaning under 6 here. I'm not going to touch the side here, whether Prez thinks they're live or not. Vancouver, I'm not. I think Vancouver is still a good team that played extremely bad in that road trip. So I'll look for them to bounce back with a better defensive performance. Whether it gets them the win or not, I'm not sure, but I'm going to stay under the total here of 6.
Great stuff there from Mr. 9-0 run, Carmine Bianco. And that's great stuff mentioning the schedule there, because I forgot to mention it. Vancouver in the first game back at home for them. And one thing I really have noticed is the difference between your first game back at home after a successful road trip and an unsuccessful road trip. And it seems to me like these teams are coming out a lot more hungry, after these unsuccessful road trips, first game back home, versus how we see a flat spot for a team after a quality road trip. So we'll see how that works out tonight for this Vancouver team returning back to Vancouver. Chicago Blackhawks and the Seattle Kraken. Seattle minus 150 here. Chicago plus 130 road dogs. Totals at 5.5. And I'll say this, guys. I've said 2 things about the Kraken to start the year. Number 1, I said that I thought there would be a huge home and away split for them. Win-wise, loss-wise, goal-scoring-wise. And I also said that their metrics were way beyond what they're going to be, and they were going to level out. They were, I believe, 4th power ranked in all the advanced metrics in the league. Shooting percentage, expected goals for, unblocked shots, everything. And this team was overachieving. Whether or not they're winning or losing games or not, the stats they're putting up weren't dictating how they were playing. And Prez was talking about, not giving up on what you thought about a team. And that's kind of how I felt about Seattle. I didn't think they were that good. I didn't think they were an expansion franchise I was going to buy into right away. And now you got a Chicago team that's hungry. They're keeping games pretty close lately. Carm, what do you think in this game in particular? I personally just, first look, don't love the line here for Seattle laying a big price.
No, I'll agree with you on that. Listen, when I first looked at the overnight line, I thought to myself, why are the Kraken favored in this one? And it's mainly because, I thought, as I mentioned before, that Chicago was ready to turn the corner, and they did put together 3 wins. But you sort of look at the game and the teams, and you break them down, and sure, Seattle's lost 4 straight, 5, I think 6 of the last 7. But 5 of those are against quality teams. Minnesota, Anaheim is first in the West right now. Vegas, Edmonton. So, they're teams that can score there within that. They still, and then you look at Chicago, and 3-game win streak. I get it. One of them was a good revenge spot for them at home against Pittsburgh, where Fleury had gotten smoked, I think, allowing 4 or 5 goals in the first period of that game. They beat Arizona 2-1. They beat who have only won 2 games all season. Yes, they did win tonight, or last night, but 2 games all season. They beat a Pittsburgh team that has lost 8 of their last 10 and is struggling immensely. The one good win is maybe against Nashville, winning 2-1. But, Nashville on the road, again, you can make anything fit a narrative, and maybe I am making it fit a narrative, but this just seems like a spot where Chicago, who hasn't won a game on the road all season, they're 0-5-1. They picked up 1 point, and it's just not a good spot for them. I just can't see how Chicago gets the win tonight. Again, you got 2 very good goalies. It should be Fleury in net. It should be Grubauer in net. 140, 150 is probably as high as you want to get with the Seattle Kraken. They shouldn't be any higher than that. 140 is probably good enough for me. If I can get a 140, I'll be on Seattle tonight. Prez?
Oh, hello, boys.
Sorry, I should have thrown that to you quicker.
Quicker or at all. Anyway. What do I like in this play? Well, let's start with the fact that I cannot take the Kraken minus anything. This is a team that has lost their last 4 games, 6 of their last 7. And okay, they've played good teams. I get it. You can't lose 6 of 7 games as a professional team. Just ask the Canadians what happens when you do that. When you look at Chicago, they've won their last 3 games all at home, but really, what is the trend here? How does Chicago win games? They win games by playing really, really tight defense. They beat Arizona 2-1. If you can only put 2 goals up against Arizona, you suck. They beat Pittsburgh 3-2. They beat Nashville 2-1. They put up 1 goal against Winnipeg. Seattle's been playing to the over all year, guys. They are 10-3 to the over. That's largely because other teams score a ton. You got Minnesota put up 4. Anaheim put up 7. Vegas, with nobody on their team, put up 4. Arizona Coyotes put up 5. I like the under in this game. And the reason I like the under in this game is the reason the Seattle games are going over is because the other team is scoring a lot of goals. Chicago doesn't score a lot of goals. Chicago's last little run, 2 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals, 1 goal, 3 goals, 3 goals, 0 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals. This team can't score more than 3 goals. So Chicago's going to keep this game to a crawl. And Seattle is going to be okay with that. I like under the total in this game. I can't go anywhere near the side in this game. So under for me.
I love how you said, Prez, I won't play minus anything on Seattle because it sounds like you're down on them just like me. I mean, this is a team I don't think deserves to be a big favorite. And as far as them getting scored on, I noticed that with totals as well. Sometimes you see a team going over the total a lot, but it's just them getting scored on. And also, guys, Philip Grubauer hasn't been the same guy he was in Colorado. It happens a lot to goaltenders when they change teams. Just ask Frederik Andersen, goes to a new team.
You just ask
goals against average.
Andrew, 100%. You ask a guy like Marc-Andre Fleury that was getting lit up left, right, and center for Chicago. A good goalie can look very bad on a team that offers no defensive support for him. And to Prez's point, I get it. Good NHL teams should not be losing 6 and 7. But listen, look at some of the teams right now. There are a ton of teams, and whether it's injuries or not, teams are struggling to win games. Let's forget about Arizona for a second. But look at a team like Pittsburgh. Having lost 8 and 10. Like even a team like Florida, as good as they are, lost 4 straight games before annihilating the Islanders last night for Andrew McInnis. So it does happen, but I get Prez's point. A good team should not have prolonged losing streaks if you have a team that can score and has secondary scoring and a decent defensive corps. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah. Andrew, if I can just jump in for a sec. I'm taping the presidential address today, guys. It should be up tomorrow. Make sure to check that out, the NFL presidential address. And the reason I'm bringing it up is I was doing work on it earlier this morning, and I was looking at the Chicago Bears Baltimore Ravens game, and it's analogous to this game, this Seattle Chicago game. Baltimore Ravens have the worst pass defense in all of football by far, but they're playing the Chicago Bears, who can't throw the ball. Seattle is going over almost every game, but they're playing the Chicago Blackhawks, who can't score. So it lends itself to the following question. If you are the ugliest man in the world and you're dating a blind woman, do your looks matter?
Probably not. Probably, unless unless the girl's friends are letting her know like what the guy looks like, then I guess that matters. But I like that comparison, and it's true. We're seeing that a lot this year in the NHL. Prez, you just mentioned the presidential address, but what I was about to do next was just go around the horn and start with you, Prez, and just ask you what's going on for you at WagerTalk. For me, Wednesday's always a day, start getting the NFL ball rolling. Yesterday I shot some panel videos. What's going on for you? What's up for you? NBA, NHL, football, what's going on?
Well, I got an NBA play going tonight. I've had a kick-ass start to the NBA season, Andrew. It's just been outstanding. And also college basketball. But I haven't handicapped that card yet, so I don't know what's going on. I'm going to be passing in hockey tonight. All I got's one NBA play going up. But today's a day of videos, man. WagerTalk today coming up right after the show at noon Eastern. Marco D'Angelo, Las Vegas. Chris is joining us. And, of course, Art DeCesar. And then tomorrow, I'm off for a week. Heading to Florida for 3 days, and then Punta Cana. I'm following Carm for 4 days. So, but I will be handicapping all the way through. And I'm finally on a run in hockey. But it's not only that. God, this business is a lose-lose business. No matter what. I mean, I'm on a 4-1 hockey run since Monday. And yet, yesterday on the daily presidential address, you'll find it on my Twitter, I gave out Leafs in regulation, Dallas in regulation, Winnipeg Jets, and the Winnipeg Jets over. That's 4-0. Monday, I gave out 3 plays on the daily presidential address, won them all. So I am on a monster NHL run, just only 4-1 for my clients. But the good thing is I'm starting to see the board much better now, and I'm feeling better about things. So that's that.
Well, Prez, that's one thing that you've taught me. I can say that you've always stressed to me personally, and I don't mind saying that aloud here. That's one thing that you've always said, and it's, looking at that type of stuff as if, hey, I'm seeing the board really well right now. Last night, I go 1-0. I hit my Florida 5% play. Did I like other plays on the card? Of course. I was like, I wish I gave this out as well. But you know what? You had to be satisfied with the win, with the 4-1 run you're on, and kind of just go from there. But Carm, first of all, man, I got to just throw in some quick soccer talk. That Canada game was amazing last night. We were texting during it. I'm just curious what you have up as far as soccer goes. College football, I know you've been doing well in. What's going on for you for this week?
Yeah, yesterday was a good day for me. 6-1 overall at WagerTalk, and Canada over Mexico was one of my plays. An absolutely epic game that took place in Edmonton in -7 Celsius weather. For you Americans out there, that is about -18 17 or 18, and not minus 17, 17 or 18 Fahrenheit. It was cold, snowy. They had to clean off the field well before the game. And on the second goal, it's now become a GIF on Twitter. The celebration ended with one of the players jumping into a huge snowbank. It was absolutely epically funny. And Mexico has a fantastic, they're a fantastic footballing nation, number 10 in FIFA. That was Canada's first win in World Cup qualifying over Mexico since 1976. So they have beaten us pretty good for about 45 years. So kudos to Canada, top of the group, playing extremely well, and maybe qualifying for the 2022 World Cup next November in Qatar. So I'm looking forward to it.
So you were how old? Win the 30 years old the last time that happened? 30, 40?
Yeah. Prez was alive back then. I was an 8-year-old. So
I wasn't 84, right?
So
84, 86.
86 when Canada qualified for the World Cup in Mexico.
Right. Canada's winning the World Cup this year, everybody. Carm, I have a question about that, and I watched the game last night too. Some just shoddy refereeing towards the end, but anyway, move on. If you put up 5 minutes of penalty of extra time, why play 8? Question 1. Question 2: did we hear anything out of Mexico about how freaking cold it was, and especially for them? They don't live in this shit.
No, they don't. Listen, the elements are the same for all 22 players that are on the field. Sure, Canadians are Canadians, but these players don't normally play in that type of weather, right? So you just figure it's an advantage for Canada. It's an advantage in that, as a Mexican national, they're not used to playing in that type of weather, if at all. So it's a bit of a culture shock, but it was a great game. Sort of moving forward, Andrew, so we can get back to hockey. One play up for me for tonight. It's my only NHL play. 4 games on the weekend in soccer as domestic league soccer returns in Europe, and one play up thus far in NFL. It's a 5% play that goes on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that as well too. So I'm looking forward to a big week ahead.
Great stuff, Carm. Just one more game to go, guys. Let's dive right into it. We have the Washington Capitals and the Los Angeles Kings, and we will not call it the Staples Center any longer. It will be the Crypto.com Center, which was pretty crazy to see. I saw that last night. The announcement was made.
Name.
They paid $700 million for that newly named stadium. Wow. So it's a pick'em game here, guys. We got the -1.5 for the Capitals is +205. The total is 5.5 here. And I'll just say this. In this game in particular, a few injuries for the Capitals, but we have a very similar storyline for both teams. They both won a bunch of games and then recently lost one. Capitals are on a back-to-back. It went to overtime. But for the Kings, you got to be just happy with that big run you had. You got to be just happy that you took on Buffalo, New Jersey, Montreal, Ottawa, and you got the job done against some of those teams and feel happy about the record you're currently holding. As far as this Capitals team, they are a team I'm looking to back off a loss. They are now 9-2, their last 11 games, second game of a back-to-back, and that's where I'm going here at a really, really good price here at -110 pick'em price here on the Capitals, Prez. I like the Caps to get it done here against the Kings on the road.
Andrew, last night, Vivian and I were doing handicapping on this game because Viv makes bets every night. She's a complete degenerate, and she's like, I like the Kings. And we spoke about this game a lot. Look, firstly, the Kings, although they lost last game to Winnipeg, they were on the road. They got a point. They got the game to overtime. They've gotten a point or more in 8 games in a row. They are playing absolutely outstanding. I mean, this is an away road trip. 1 point against Winnipeg. They destroyed Ottawa. They destroyed the Leafs. Obviously, they beat Montreal. Everybody does. They beat New Jersey, et cetera, et cetera. And I listened to Viv's arguments, and it made sense. And the problem for me is Washington lost last night. If Washington had won last night, I like the Kings. But because Washington lost last night, one of the things that I like to do is, and I was talking to Viv about this, is I don't want to play against good teams after they lose. Now, obviously, they're going to lose 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row at some point throughout the season. But if you can stay away from playing against good teams after a loss, you're going to alleviate a lot of losing bets. So, with regret, I have to go back to that ugly person we were talking about and pass.
Nothing wrong with passing. Nothing wrong with passing.
I know
what are your
you.
thoughts on this game?
You don't like passing. I know that, and I'm sorry, but it's like I don't want to play against the Kings in the middle of this monster run, and I don't want to play against Washington after a loss with the 9-2 back-to-back record. I can't play the under with a Washington game, and I can't play the over on a Kings game. So what do you?
I gotta say though, we always use the expression you can only play the teams that are in front of you. But if you look at the teams that were in front of LA, it was a bad spot for Toronto. I've heard you say it was a bad spot. Yep. Montreal's playing horribly. Ottawa's Ottawa. New Jersey's New Jersey. How is it a monster run for LA? I mean, that's good for them. I feel like it's a wake-up reality check here.
Andrew, come on, man. It's a monster run. It's a monster run for LA because they won 7 games in a professional hockey league in a row. And then the 8th game, they still got a point. Going to overtime in Winnipeg is impressive. Ask the Edmonton Oilers how hard that is to do.
The good news is, because of that great run, we now have a -110 price on the Capitals. So, Carm, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, my thoughts are this. I understand where both you guys are coming from. I look at a couple of angles here, which I like to use throughout the season and with success. I went against that 7-game win streak of the Kings. I stepped in front of it because I thought it was not only a bad scheduling spot, but a bad team for them to be playing in Winnipeg, and Winnipeg got the job done, despite the fact that the Kings did pick up a point. Now they return home off a road trip, and it's a road trip of 4 or more games. So I like to normally go against the team off that. But not only that is when I see a team win 6, 7, 8 games in a row and they lose one, I like to go against them again. It's just like the Florida one. Florida comes out of the gate and wins, I think, 11 of their first 13 games or 11 of their first 12 games, lose a game against the Rangers, and then the next night get bombed by New Jersey, and that turned into 4 games. It's the same spot here. I want to go against this Kings team off that loss and look for them to lose again here. And then you look at Washington. Yeah, they lost last night to this team. There's not been one game of their 16 games this year where they have been blown out or beaten badly. There have been all 1-goal games. Their losses are all 1-goal games. They've only lost twice in regulation time in 16 games this year. And on back-to-backs, it doesn't worry me. They were 8-1 last year in the second of back-to-backs, 1-0 thus far this year. That's 9-1 over the last year plus in these back-to-back spots. They're a good team. I'm looking for them to bounce back. That was not a bad game by them last night. So it bodes well for this team moving forward. So I'm taking Washington at a very low price here. I think it's a good spot.
Yeah, Andrew, can I jump in really quick?
Go ahead, Preston. After you have your comment, give us your best bet, man.
Okay, Carm, by the way, that was a great handicap. Listen, guys out there, I get it, man. There are people that hate on the Prez. I am a polarizing dude. I'm arrogant, narcissistic, handsome as all hell. I'm cool. I'm funny. I get it. If you want to call me a douche, I'm good with that. A putz, all good. I freaking love it. But ABC Favorites writes, bring Prez on and he passes on all games. What I don't like is when you have to make up nonsense to justify your anger towards me. Let me recap. There are 3 games on tap. I gave out the over in the Vancouver game and Vancouver. That is not a pass. I gave out the under in the Chicago game. That is not a pass. So ABC favorites, Cushman Tochas. My best bet is the under in the Chicago game.
All right. Always an interesting show having the Prez on. And again, 3 games, Prez, but hey, we break those down. And if you want to submit a trade, you can just talk to the GM. We'll try and submit a trade to switch up games. I know you want to be on here to talk more than just 3 games and stuff like that. So we'll see what we can do. But Carm, your best bet, 9-0 run for you in the NHL. What's going on for tonight?
Yeah, listen, 3 games and we've gone like almost 40 minutes. It's kind of humorous, but I get the Prez. And
Awesome.
With 3 games, it's always tough or what have you. He needs that vacation in Punta Cana. I was there. It's fantastic. I've already alerted the locals in Punta Cana. If the guy comes and shows up in 2 weeks' time and he tells you how great he is, just say, hey, Lawrence. But with that said, my best bet's going to be the Seattle game. I am going to take Seattle for some of the reasons that I mentioned. I'm just not convinced, even though I thought Chicago turned the corner, until I see them start to score some goals. If your output is 2 or 3 goals a game, and you're going against a goalie like Grubauer, I understand how Seattle has been allowing goals. It's just a tough spot. I need to see them win on the road before I'm convinced they've turned the corner. I don't want to lay more than $1.40 in this game. I'll tell you that. And even that is tough to swallow. But I'm going to take Seattle minus 140 here. We've won 6 of the last 7 show best bets going back to like last week. I got trolled on the one I lost, which I thought was pretty funny. But with that said, Seattle Kraken is my show best bet, and best of luck to you guys in the chat. Just keep subscribing, hit that like button. We love the comments. Keep them coming in.
Great stuff, guys. Carmine is 9-0 right now in NHL, 9-0 run. Check him out over at WagerTalk, as well as the Prez heating up in NHL, also red hot in the NBA. My best bet's going to be that over in the Colorado game. I'm looking at a game that should be very fast-paced. It was 5.5, but I do like the 6 as well. Vancouver has allowed 19 goals their last 3 games. We're seeing an Avalanche team scoring right now big time. Like Prez said, without a player like McKinnon in there, they've proven they have depth. And I just don't think the Canucks will be able to turn this one into a tight checking along the boards game. This should be a game of pond hockey out there tonight with plenty of talent. I expect goals here. Over 6 for me for my best bet. Let's recap the best bets on the screen. Let's go with Carmine's best bet. Excuse me, guys. Seattle minus 140. The Prez was Chicago. Seattle under 5.5. And I have Colorado, Vancouver over the total of 6. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out Prez on WagerTalk today at 12 o'clock Eastern time. And we'll see you tomorrow right here for Puck Time. Same time, same place.
The WagerTalk You Pick special is live, giving you the option to pick the league of your choice and get 30 days of picks for only $99. 30 days of the NFL for $99, done. Just want NBA and NHL for the next month? You can do that for only $99 each. That's right, 99 gets you every release from the league of your choice from your favorite handicapper, including 5% best bets for 30 days. No coupon code is required, and 30-day sports passes will go back to regular price Sunday at midnight. So lock in as many sports and handicappers for only $99 before time runs out.